Yo, bartender.
Bar's closed.
Hey, yo, bartender, what's good, man? Let me get a drink, man. Let me get a shot.
Hey, man, I know you just put up to the bar, but we closed.
Come on, man. You gotta be able to give me a shot, man. Come on.
You look like you need a drink, man, but I hate to tell you this, man. We about to close.
So you mean to tell me all these people out here, they got drinks and they got shots, but I can't get nothing. The bar closed that soon?
Okay, man, I don't know what else to say. I got this shorty half my age at the crib, and I'm trying to get to it. But last call was 10 minutes ago.
You know what? It's alright. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it.
All right. Tell you what, I'm gonna get you one drink, cause it look like you need it.
One drink? Alright, I can do one drink. I can do one drink, cause I really, yeah.
Hey, man, anything, man. Look like you got a lot on your mind and you need a friend right now. Pour it on me. Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome to Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome.
I'm going to say brought to you by Dispose, LLC. This is a garbage company that I started, 8 years ago. Been doing great things. I've been down there at Ken Food, one of my biggest clients. But one of the things I can tell you, I'm looking for more. So if y'all call me up, I can get that trash away from you. And again, you already know I'm with Go Green and other companies as well. And I'm multiplying. This is what I do. But it's need you to go to the website, check us out, and always find out who can give you the best service. And it's going to be me each and every time. Dispose, LLC. Now, I got to get back to this person who's been rocking with me for 8 years. I wasn't able to say it for the last show. I got to say it on this one. Man, how you doing tonight, Big Bang?
Fabulous, Jay.
Man, you came in here with a smile, man. It's because we got some couple ladies. Yeah,
Damn right.
that's what you're talking about.
Sensation.
Yeah, man.
Yes. I'm doing well, man.
Yeah.
Just grinding, enjoying each day.
All right. I like that. So how the grind been going for you, man?
Grind as well, man. Grind as well. Number 1 last month. Number 2 just this month.
And if y'all didn't know what his number one is, he's top car salesman. Crap's been doing a lot of things for a long time.
Yeah.
Besides this show, we all be doing different things. So please understand. We do this with love, but bottom line, we got to do other things too. And that's what I love about bringing people together. Each and everybody sitting on my panel is doing great things.
Yes.
And I love for that to be you too. So all y'all couch potatoes watching this shit ain't doing shit, stop it. Okay?
Absolutely.
I need y'all to get off that couch and make it happen.
Yeah, and let's welcome our guests tonight, Alexis and Brittany.
No filter.
No filter.
No filter. Yeah. No filter for the fire. No filter for the fire. And Miss Brittany in the house.
That's gas right there.
I think we got an intense show about to happen. So let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. This is Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay.
In the building.
We have Brittany and Alexis in the house as well. And we're here to liberate your minds and souls with a fabulous dialogue. We're just going to chop it up on a subject, and we hope 2-3 layers down, we get to some stuff that really makes sense for all of us. This show is about growth. The show is ultimately designed so that after you have that first drink, you kind of open up and you start talking. And sometimes talking is healing. Sometimes being heard is healing. But ultimately, we're all trying to get to greater wisdom and greater intelligence. And we want you to be nurtured by this show. So find a way to get in to the discussion in your own seat, whether it's this year or 50 years from now. It's still real human stuff, and we hope that you enjoy what we got to bring. We always start the show off with a prayer, and tonight's topic is double standards. And I don't even know where to begin on such a subject, so I'm going to ask the Lord to help us. Let's go ahead and bring it to him. Heavenly Father, we come into your presence just to thank you for all that you are in our life. You are our strength, our confidant. You do all that we need, and we are nothing without you. We ask, Heavenly Father, tonight that you would inspire us on wisdom about double standards. It seems sometimes, Lord, what works for me doesn't work for someone else, or what works for them doesn't work for me. And I'm trying to understand how to manage this thing called life and these relationships and these people. And so give us some inspiration tonight, Heavenly Father. Just allow us to better understand men, better to understand women, and the relationship between the two. Do your magical work in this discussion. We pray in your son's name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Woo! We need that because this topic is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, this is one of those topics that we're ultimately. I'm just envisioning this conversation going to a place where men and women just don't agree. Right?
I mean, nothing wrong with agree to disagree. I mean,
There's nothing wrong with it at all. In fact, in the disagreement, we should be able to begin to understand one another a little better. And so I don't know where to start this conversation off, but do you ladies have an idea of where we might begin these double standard talks about men and women?
Well, the way they was about to go with it, I think I might need to jump in. They was about to get us, bro.
Well, yeah,
I'm nervous about what you.
I thought I saw a knife in the air somewhere.
Y'all know the double. That make the double standard. Okay, that's about to happen.
Yeah, well, that's why I was thinking about the double standard.
Hold on. Brittany got the number one double standard.
Cheating.
Tell me about that. What are you talking
It's always the man. The men. You all can't handle a woman cheating, but you can cheat.
Okay.
That's just what it is. It's like you can be and have infidelity, and we're just supposed to be like, okay, well,
I'm listening to that.
you know, maybe it was me. Maybe I didn't do what I needed to do or whatever. But then let a woman go out and cheat, and it's like, oh my goodness, oh, hell, she nasty, she this, she that, and it's like, you know what I mean?
I'll throw a wrench in there.
Go ahead,
I'd like to
go ahead.
go for it.
The women who cheat but don't get caught.
There's a whole lot of them.
There's a lot of them.
What I'm saying,
More than men.
There's a whole lot of them.
There's more than men. I think women are more than cheating.
yes, women cheat better than me.
Yeah. So if y'all cheat better, you do it.
So
Obviously.
yeah.
That's how y'all got
Well,
experience.
listen, I think women have the natural ability to be a little more quiet, to be a little more secretive. The other words I might use, a little more cunning, maybe
Evasive.
more evasive,
Invasive?
Evasive.
Evasive.
yeah,
Okay.
evasive. That women just have that ability.
Deny.
And part of the reason women have that ability is because men aren't paying attention like women pay attention.
Okay.
Women are much more perceptive. They have that spirit of discernment
That
naturally.
intuition.
Right, that intuition. But the point I want to make here is that I think that there's a natural thing going on where it's just accepted more for men. And I'm not making any excuses.
You're right, though.
I'm not,
You're
I'm
right.
not, I'm not siding on myself. I say men have a tendency, it's just accepted. And I think part of that acceptance goes toward the nature of men perhaps being if a man mess with another woman, it's not the heart. If a man was to mess with another woman, it could be for like 9 different reasons, right? And his heart could still be right here. We've all seen it. We've all seen uncles and grandmas and grandpas go out, do their thing, but they're taking care of home.
Right.
And home has been taken care of for 20, 30, 50 years at a time. So the understanding here is that men might not quite mean it the same way that women will mean it.
Hate
But
that, though.
I know
hate
that's a
that
double
because-
standard, but it's
Because there's some women that are ruthless.
yeah, there are.
So if I call you up and I know what time it is and I send you on home, that's what it is. I don't want to cuddle.
I get that.
It is.
I
It's
get
a
that.
lot of
I
women.
get that. Now let me ask you this: but is a woman going to get out of the bed with her man and go and do that
Yeah.
just for sex?
Yeah.
See, that's an extreme scenario. That's one of
It's
those.
called cheating in peace because we let y'all do anything.
Hey,
Listen.
I'm learning something here. I'm sitting back.
Okay, now and we
Stupid.
understand part of what y'all were referring to when I was sitting on that couch over there
Mhm.
is the fact that not all men are created equal.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There are some men who are, masculine and alpha, and there's some men who are less. And especially in a world where we have more alpha women, that you're going to find more alpha women with less than alpha men, and they're going to be the leaders.
Right.
It's unfortunate the way it is. It's not the way it was in history anymore. It's not the way our grandparents were brought up, and so you're gonna have to own that strength. And one of the things I think we don't like to hear and don't like to understand is a woman who thinks like that. But we know it's real.
Right.
And some of those women we benefit from because they'll be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? How much you want?
Yeah.
Let me on Friday. You know what I'm saying? Got me next for you on Thursday.
With an argument.
But
How y'all do?
but I think we have to get to a
Okay,
point
go first.
where the double standard, to some degree, because we can't change history, and we may not be able to even change the future. We just have to accept the double standard to some degree because it does work both for and against us, both, right? There are pros and cons on both sides of the equation, but I just want to make sure that I plant the seed that I don't believe that men are cheating for the same reasons, for the same, I don't know, the strength in need as women are. I think
everybody's the 80-20 rule.
yeah, that's it. That's it.
Everybody
One
thinks
thing I
the
don't like to
80-20.
do typically, right? Women, they gotta like to do it. They gotta feel something. A work husband or somebody they know is gonna be a neighbor.
Work
Typically, it's gonna be somebody close.
Equal, equal.
Oh yeah,
Have you been to work
the
husband?
work husband benefit.
Have you been one? Because I feel like you may have been one.
I have.
I know you have.
I have.
Don't
But this,
ask me.
but
I
I,
ain't gonna do this.
but I promise you, I respected the game in the end.
Mm.
I respected the game in the end, and I was very careful. Number one,
Now,
because
how
I
was
knew-
that woman though, Craft? Not to cut you off. How was that woman? Was she like a woman like get it when I get it, or did she? Oh my goodness, she really liked something. She was falling in love. How was she? What type of woman was she?
Right.
That was looking at you as like a work husband because we want to.
Because I know you
What's the
weren't trying
situation over
to
there?
tell her to leave her duty.
I got to give you a loaded answer. I guess the reality is
Because what's the
that
statistic over there?
she followed my lead,
Okay.
and if I'd have let her astray, I probably could.
If you wanted to lead her straight, you probably could have.
Yeah, I probably could have been like, hey, you know, let's go out.
Let's run away together. Like, let me be.
Yeah,
the
you know what I'm saying? Just come see me on Tuesday night. You know, you got to go to bowling or some shit. You know, I probably could have did any of that. But
But do you think she would have been attached to you, or do you think she would have just been like, okay,
oh yeah,
let's do our thing?
yeah, she'd have got sex. She'd have been attached, but she didn't get sex, so she was good. She was good. I did that.
Okay.
Right.
Oh,
And I also had respect.
He did that.
I respect for her husband.
For the union.
Right. I had met him. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, she's a
no,
little dirty. She dirty.
I had met him, but here's the thing. See, this is
That's
what's
so crazy.
this is what's important. Her husband, you know, we had worked together for a couple of years, right? You work together for a couple of years around family people, you're gonna meet their family.
Right.
So I met him. Good dude. You know what I'm saying? You could see he was cut from the same cloth. He was trying to take care of his family, and so I respected that. Like there are men. She didn't want to, but
She was willing to.
And the 20.
here's the guy every day gonna bring her a piece of candy or a bag of chips. She's got
Conversation.
problems at home,
You listen.
right? She can talk to me.
Okay, Mr. King.
She got problems at home. She got like when she get home, you know what I'm saying? It's quiet, and you know they're doing the.
What the hell? You give her a Kit Kat?
They might not be in love 2 or 3 days.
I'm a joy.
And so naturally, she's gonna start to drift. She's gonna start to drift my way, right? She want to talk a little more. She want what you want for lunch. You know what I'm saying? And so, that's natural. That's normal, right? That's normal,
Is it?
right? It is normal. It is normal.
I don't know.
If you're
Sounds like you gave her a Snickers.
it works in it works in every facet of human endeavor, right? If you have a close relationship with your mother and you have an argument with your mother and you're not talking to your mother as much, you're gonna drift to go find you're gonna fill that space.
One of your aunties or something.
Yeah, that gap is gonna be filled somehow or another, right?
Mhm.
And you can fill it temporarily with, you know, toys and games and all kinds of stuff, but it's gonna be fulfilled. So it's natural. If you and your boss have a good relationship, all of a sudden some bullshit happens. Next thing you know, you're gonna find yourself talking to a coworker. You're gonna find yourself talking to another boss, or you're gonna find yourself. But you're gonna find an outlet
Okay.
to satisfy that need. And if you're close to a woman and she has a husband at home, she'll drift towards you when things are bad at home, and vice versa. Right. It's normal, natural, right? So at some point, we just got to kind of understand the standard here. Men are from Mars and women are from Venus.
Mm-hmm.
What else can we say? It's not that we're totally different. It's just that we have some nuances that make us very different. And when it comes to sex, or when it comes to particularly sex, I can't even think of another example now. But when it comes to sex, man is just in his head, right? And he'll be sneaking around to cheat, but he'll know that his heart is there.
That
That's
sounds
his-
like some bullshit.
But it's
Okay, Jay.
but it's true.
Jay, what you got to
That's
say?
the double standard that we ain't there.
Well, I thought he did such a great job.
Really? Oh, you don't want to get in on his legs? What?
I did it.
Some ain't double standards.
It's a lot of it's a lot of it, and I really like how you was bringing it because the bottom line is you got to understand. A lot of times when I was doing a lot of crazy stuff out there, I had no boundaries. So if you came at me and you was having problems and you cried on my shoulder, I wasn't trying to act like your friend. I wasn't trying to be that close person because I already know if you bend it over, it's busting. So I ain't no need to be playing. So you came over here and you giving me this, and I'm like, okay, so there you go. So yeah, exactly. So you try to figure out what it is. So when I have no boundaries, they over there and they telling me all this, and I be like, okay, so what it is you want me to do?
But you know what? A lot of women respect the honesty part of it. Like, don't even lie to me about it. If you want that ass and bend that ass over, if you see me, then you give me the option if I want to fuck with you or not. It's kind of like but if you're married and you tell me you married, but you're still trying to holler, you gave me the option to say if I'm going to continue or nah, I ain't with you.
And I totally agree. And that's why with no boundaries, it's like, yo, why lie?
Right.
Let's just sit back. You got these problems.
The truth is more sexier.
And I was like, yo, let's just figure out where it's going to go. What we going to do. And that's because, but again, once I really feel good about a person and I build something with the person, I start building my person.
Right.
So now I'm not going to be that tempted.
Right.
Because I respect what I have and I'm not trying to lose what I have. Because when I didn't have no boundaries, I didn't care.
Right.
You know, I was willing to lose what I really didn't have because I didn't put a lot of ownership in.
So you say when you care with somebody, you don't have double standards.
When I was out there,
no boundaries is a double.
Well, it is. That's a double standard.
It's a double standard.
When you have boundaries, it doesn't equate no more. Because now I'm holding myself more accountable. Because remember, ain't nothing gonna happen if I'm not allowing it. So again, nobody has to holler at me or whatever. Sometimes there's accountability. All men don't cheat, and I've never ever thought all men cheat. But the bottom line, people that don't mind, believe it.
Like, you met somebody that never cheated.
You know something? And one time I did. I met somebody that never cheated. I also met a person that never had sex until he got married. So I met a lot of good people. And my boy's name is Ramon. I say my name because I respect him like that. You know, and I put him out. I respect him. Because when we was young, he was young and he worked for me. He was going out and on dates that people was pressing him to. And he was Jehovah's Witness. And his religion is he didn't do that before. And he held that. And again, with me knowing him, I have to respect that. And that helped me understand boundaries as well. From a young man, holding himself early.
Yeah. I think
I never pushed him anyway.
Builds your character, your mind, and all that other stuff. I think it makes you see the world in a different.
It absolutely does. It absolutely does, and I think that's good. That's great. Kind of puts him at a disadvantage a little bit, but we love to see.
At least I can say I see.
Yeah, we love to see.
And I see it more person I knew.
There is a place in the world called money that seems to have a double standard amongst the men's and the women's. Can y'all help me understand that a little bit?
I mean,
well, it's a man's world. Let them tell it. So I just feel like we can do the same job. I can be overqualified, but somehow you're gonna probably make more money than me, and I'll be the one training you to do the job.
That's real. That's real in the world. Why do you think that is?
I just feel like the world see men at a different level. So it don't matter. I mean, black men have their own obstacles, but at the same time, there's gonna always be a black man over a black woman because you're a man. It's
when you say see us at different levels,
they hold they see you all as a more of an asset of a value, because men appear to be people that are typically leaders. They think they're leaders. They think that not also they're protectors, providers, that they must be the person that's a man, they can get the job done.
Right.
They're gonna get the job done.
Right.
They're strong. All these things play in their head. So when they look at a man versus a woman, and then basically it comes back to double standards too, even with the cheating, like you said, women are more emotionally tied with their cheat. When an employer look at you or they do positions, they really be thinking like, she's probably too emotional to handle the job.
She handled this.
It's always emotions when it comes to the double standard versus a man or woman. It's emotions all the time. Well, if she's cheating, it's emotional, and that's worse because she love that man. She love that nigga she cheated with. She don't love me, so now I'm really mad. Okay, I go to get a job. Oh, she's not gonna be able to handle it.
Right.
She's too soft. She's not gonna be authoritative. She's not gonna demand respect. People gonna walk over her.
Right.
Double
Don't even
standards.
know her, but they're asking. You notice that pen move quicker when they say, "Well, how do you handle conflict in the workplace?" Motherfucker, I don't.
I'm
I like that filter. I like that filter.
You're out.
What?
Listen, you epitomized the emotion that she was talking about.
Yeah.
Because that's what a man don't
Yeah.
need in his environment. We don't need you being,
Whatever.
we don't need your emotion coming to
If I had a position open for
and
HR,
procedures.
your ass high.
We don't
I
need,
need
We
that. I'm tired of them punks coming trying to beg you.
When you-
I want somebody to go tell you to breathe.
when we bring the hammer down in the workplace, we don't need an attitude to go with it. It just is what it is.
and that's
If
what
you
they
have
think women gonna do.
well, and that's typically
That they
what
can't-
women do, right?
Yeah.
That's oftentimes what women do.
And that's crazy. But you know what also gets me?
What's that?
That I'm not against like the homosexual community, the LGBTQ. But
Parties.
it could be a gay man will get a position over a woman too.
Yeah.
But it's
They
like,
move up
art-
quicker in the ladder.
yeah,
Than everybody.
I was overlooked for a year. 2 full-time positions did not come my way, and I had 2 masters on my resume,
Yeah.
and these people had a bachelor's.
Yeah.
Okay, I had
Oh,
more experience in customer service. I have been working since I was 15 years old. I was 31 at the time. They still in college. I'm done, and it's like, you more feminine than I am.
Yeah.
You don't give me kind of this stuff.
Once again, that's a man.
That's a male. It's a male. And
They
that's
don't
Well,
it's a male making the
That's a
decision.
him,
See,
him.
you always have to.
And
You
what
got,
the,
you got
and then
those type of leaders in
But see, you gotta
place now.
yeah, you gotta look at
It's
the,
helping get to
the
the
person who's hiring is going to hire like person.
but my employee was a black woman.
Okay.
But she promoted a black gay man and a white gay man
So you ain't got to work
over
on
me.
it.
I could just play some.
I don't
That's real life though. That's what's
Right.
going on. Like,
Listen, if I could just play some snippets of video of your interactions with her, I would probably say that you left her in several occasions feeling like you were being emotional, whereas those guys may not have.
you know what she told me?
that.
I act like I don't need nobody. That she thought I was gonna be somebody she can train and lead, but I never asked her any questions. I never
It
did.
wasn't teaching.
Oh, and I was
Yeah,
too
she
much
played.
of an influence.
Yeah.
I
That
mean,
means
I
you-
would have your ass.
no, you know what that means? No, to me, but that means that you were too
I
much.
feel like right.
You were too much.
You were gonna over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go take.
I don't even want to work.
You said you was gonna take her job.
I don't want to work.
I
I'm
see.
sitting in the back writing my business plan.
She was afraid of you.
Yep.
She was afraid of you.
It's like,
She don't need no mother.
Because if she was hiring somebody for a job just underneath her, that person probably would be targeting her job as the next step, right?
they gonna outshine her, and then she'll get overlooked. Then she'll be demoted, and then they need somebody to. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know what her deal was, but I know they got whoop, bloop, 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 went on up,
Yeah.
moved on
And,
up.
I just want to say for the record that I'm so proud of black women. I'm so proud of black women. Listen, hands down, without a shadow of a doubt, across every field of human endeavor, black women are running shit. And they're the highest educated in the work in this constituency. They're the highest growing income in the world, and so many more attributes. They are raising the black families. They're raising families. They are passionate. They're in politics. They're in every field of human endeavor.
Every
We
industry.
we are proud of black women, and you must know that as you assume that royalty, it comes with the charactership of a man. It's almost like you're getting closer to a man. You're going to have to be a little more like a man. And sometimes that means being a little less emotional. It may be hard to express yourself sometimes, but that's what the environments around you are looking for. They're looking for kind of the white man's culture of doing business.
Emotionless women.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Emotionless people. Listen,
Right.
don't think that we don't feel the same thing that you feel. But we express it very differently. In fact, I might get upset. I got upset with my boss the other day. And rather than let him see me being upset, I walked outside. I walked outside, got some fresh air. I came back in like nothing happened. And so
White.
I'm sorry?
Is he white?
I got one black and one white. They're on the same level. 2 desk managers. So, but they're both watching
How you?
every single deal. They're watching my reaction. They're watching, am I going to be selfish? They're watching if I'm going to raise hell. They're watching if I'm going to go and, gossip, if I tell somebody else. They're paying attention every single day. This is an extreme high performance sales environment. So if you show me that you're going to poke your lip out because you didn't get this deal or because I didn't do it the way you wanted me to, now you're a burden. One deal goes 20, 25 calls a month. One deal, if I act like that, now that's how they got to be careful with me now. Oh, now they can't share some information with me because I might go back and share it with the boss. It's going to get in the ears of another one of the gossipers. That those things matter extremely in every environment. It has a lot to do with loyalty. It has a lot to do with that manly disconnect from the world that, hey, I'll take one on the chin. I'll go ahead and take my L because I know the next one's gonna be a win. And you keep bumping into this wall, but you keep smiling on your way through. They can't see how you feel. That's the key. They can never see how you really feel. And if one of them who I kind of despise, right? But he'll never know it, and they'll never know it.
Unless he watching the show.
Unless he's watching the show, right? And he probably ain't see the show, right? And if he does see the show, I'll be like, you the one I despise.
You can point him out.
He asked for it at that point. He like, I heard you talking about you despise what you've been. Yeah, man, you just don't do the damn deals, man. Why don't you get up off your seat? You know what I'm saying? Like, you costing me money sitting back here and the customers out there. There's no money being made back here. Get your ass out there and help me with this customer. So he would understand if I explained it that way, but I can't go to him right now because he might get emotional.
Oh, yeah.
Right? He's going to start tiptoeing around me. He's not going to be as aggressive as I need it to be. And here's what we say in sales. Always be closing. ABC, always be closing. When you're in a relationship and your husband says something that you don't like, or your spouse says something that you don't like, you can't just get mad. You cannot get mad. You have to swallow those small pills all the time, every day. And so when you swallow that small pill, you're like, oh, that's how you feel about people. I get it.
But you be holding them little lumps.
But listen, they're not fallacies.
Okay, you gonna throw it on up.
But they're not fallacies.
Right.
They're real. And when you get enough of that shit, it's time to say you're enough of that shit, right? So you can swallow the pill as long as you can, you can handle it. But at a certain point, you be like, all right, you just crossed the line.
Right.
Or I've had enough of this. You did this, you did this, you did this, you did this, you did this. No, sit down, motherfucker. I want to talk to you. I got something to say, right? But the point is, well, see, that's not the way. That's not the way.
Pick your battles.
Well, just like I'm talking about with my boss, you just can't do that. You can't be reactive. You have to be responsive. You have to come with a more intelligent answer than your initial response.
But but one thing about the double standard too, even if a woman don't show emotion, then now she's bitter.
Yeah.
She's
angry.
It's not always when you feel that way, bro.
And then you still
it's okay.
Not at the top of the ladder.
You're gonna have to listen. You're gonna have to accept that. If you are not being who you naturally are, the world will see.
That's why you have to.
There's a natural behavioral style and there's an adaptive behavior style. And if you go into your adaptive behavior style, the world will see it. And they're going to call it out. Right? They're going to have something to say about it, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent. If I come into the office with just because I had a tiff with one of my managers, nobody knows it. But the next day I come in with donuts. Right? Mm-hmm. Everybody's looking around like, okay, why are you bringing donuts? Oh, you feeding the managers donuts, right? Somebody's gonna have some bullshit to say. And all I'm really doing is just softening up the environment. Hey, you know what I'm saying?
No hard feelings.
Exactly. I'm still just as bitter. I'm still just as bitter on the inside of it. I still feel how I feel, but I never shared with them. And I think that's one of the key elements that keep men and women from coming together. That keep relationships from happening. That keeps It's like you can't be picky in your interaction with another person. You have to just take the blows, the good and the bad. They be real clean over here and they're real dusty over here. You know what? I'm just gonna try to focus on the positive, and you just keep working with them, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you're at a point where you're fed up, then you're fed up. But a relationship constantly, a 30, 50-year relationship constantly requires you to forgive. You have to forgive every other day. She, you know what I'm saying? I don't like what she said that day, or she act like, this ain't my money, or, everybody's going to have something. They come across the wrong way. They say the wrong thing. They do the wrong thing. They're a little late, but they didn't call, and they didn't think to call, and you're a little upset about it. And so you're going to have to address it, but, be like, call me, I was waiting. To say 2 days ago, you're like, hey, well, I'm gonna be late tomorrow, and then I'm gonna teach him a lesson, and he's gonna be like, wait a minute, you was late yesterday. I'm decided to stop by shop today.
Say it like this,
Well, I'm saying, hey, right? Always be close.
in corporation,
Always be close.
in corporate America, what Kraft says is totally correct. Emotions is not one of the things that you're gonna get on the board meeting. All right, I care about my drivers. I care about that. Right. When I sit in that meeting, it's about numbers. If I bring a name to the stack, they care less.
That's good, Tim.
They look at their percentages, and if I ain't understanding their numbers, I will be replaced.
Right.
So it's a double standard, but it's also one that even I had to go with. And it ain't just about my color, it's just about that position. Know your damn numbers. When I walk out that position, I gotta know my people. That's the double standard. I gotta have it one way when I walk in there, because I can't put a name with nothing. Every name got my name on.
Right.
For every driver had accident, that's me. As far as they're concerned, that's your accident. You the manager. You the director. Tell me what they are, and I have to answer to all that for everybody. When I leave that, I got to get to my drivers, and I got to get to the heart and core to what the hell I got to do differently. If I can come back in there with an action plan, because they're going to see what the hell I'm doing.
Right.
So that's where that non-emotional stuff, because they whoop you. When I tell you, get whooped, I went in there with my feelings. Oh, yeah. I know that driver. I believe in him. I know this. And I'm talking highly on that driver. And they said, because of that driver, you won't be here. I don't know about you. I make good money. I want y'all to hear that. I was, what driver? I almost got by his ass. Wait a minute. Because it's a slap. And you're not thinking you're going to get that. So you can't stay emotional, and sometimes where they got to see you just be a numbers person.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong. I took the knowledge that I had and I walked out of that meeting not with that same mentality. I walked and got with my people, and I got back on a caring position because they're driving, they're doing things. So it's a learning thing.
What's this, Jay? Something just came to my mind. I'm trying to think of some differences between men and women. I don't know. Somehow it just feels like there's a spirit of women where they have to tell you about yourself. Like there's just something like there's just and I'm
No, you did.
Well, absolutely,
Yes,
I
you
did
did.
because I put my mother in this category too, right? She just feel now when you're telling somebody off, what do you accomplish? Are you just making you feel better, or do you really think you are?
I'm not keeping it bottled in. That's my mental health.
So it makes you feel better to tell me.
To release it, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
because
release
if I hold it in and just let it keep building up, you keep doing it over and over. What if nobody told you something that you needed to hear? I got to let it out.
And you're
if
not
I
a
be
genius.
telling
Right,
you,
right, but needed to hear.
And you're
relative.
not a
Based
genius,
on what
though.
you think.
I can't. You don't know what I'm feeling if I don't tell you.
Right.
So then how am I keep getting mad at you because you're doing the same thing?
I'm
but
not
you don't even
talking
know?
about just talking to me. I'm talking about tearing my ass up. I'm talking about like going off. Listen. We know there's this spirit in the world where people feel like they need to just mash on you. You messed up. They know you messed up, but they just want to tell you. They just want to mash on you. They're gonna keep telling you. They want to.
I wouldn't do that. Like if we didn't
I've done
figure it
that
out before, but I feel like as women, it doesn't come up until an argument. Let's say you forgave a man for cheating, but then he goes somewhere, like they say, laugh at the other trick jokes.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
I tell that same joke and you don't laugh. I'm gonna say, well, you laughed that time.
And what's going on?
Okay. Okay, now that's not healthy. That's not healthy.
You wrong for that.
But I'm just saying, I feel like women tend to tell men about themselves if they see they don't see action behind it, like there was no change.
Mhm.
So then we got to bring up like, I told you such and such, but you did it for such and such. But when I tell you to do this, a problem. But when he said do it,
you jump right on it.
jump right. So I
that's
feel like it's
exactly.
something we've seen. It's a pattern, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think women and men do that.
Yeah,
Right.
you know, yeah, men and women do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen that on both
you know,
sides.
feminine men
It's true.
in the world.
Lord, he did.
But listen, it really is.
That's the
There's
truth,
a
though.
lot more softer men in the world.
It is.
It's just the way it is.
So are we supposed to let men who are softer be feminine while we be masculine?
I mean, I
It
just
depends on
I just-
each own.
You know, that's a whole
Yeah,
other shit.
I think it's probably
Yeah,
each his
I think
own.
that's-
Because I know women, I've seen them out. And I
Yeah.
was like, why did she even?
I mean, but
I mean, literally,
well,
everything about
my
this
question
is
would be, would you
and
be
you're a
comfortable?
woman.
Would you
I
be comfortable with that? Would you be comfortable with a?
couldn't do it.
You gonna do
I
it.
couldn't do
I
it.
probably couldn't either, but I feel like I haven't gotten to the place where I have had someone to allow me to walk in my femininity in the sense of let my guard down. I'm always in. I got the repair mode. Like if I tell you to bring me the ladder and you don't bring me the ladder, well, goddamn, I'm going to get the ladder. I got something. It'll take you 5 hours to bring me the ladder.
Yeah.
So now I got to do it myself, and then you feeling like, well, you want me to move, or you want me to move. I asked you to do something for it.
Right.
It ain't even
Right.
about control.
Right.
I
It really
think it's,
isn't.
it's not
You
even about
hungry. You want me to get up and cook you something. You
Yes,
don't
you
want me
hungry.
to go take a nap and then
take a shower, do the laundry,
Right.
take care of the kids, and say, "Oh, you still hungry?"
Yeah.
You be like, "I told you I was hungry for that."
Can I get a quick little banana? Go make another one.
Hey, go make you a bowl of cereal because now I'm tired. I done did everything I needed to do. You
Ain't
be
no
looking at-
milk.
You be looking at me like she
You know what?
crazy.
You know what? I'm gonna share the story. I'll share it briefly. Right? It's probably one of my greatest regrets in life. Right?
Okay.
So I married a woman, absolutely beautiful woman. When I met her, she had been on her grind for a number of years, 8, 9 years, right? She owned home, she had traveled, she had good job, benefits, she had a child, she'd been through, several cars, she was prosperous, right? And so we got married, and me trying to be that A person, I married an A type woman. Right? I met an alpha woman, but she brought herself beneath me in terms of, just being a family
Trying to
woman,
let you lead.
let me lead. And I did a great job leading, no say. But years into the relationship, here's a woman who marvels at her own success and her own achievements and her own family and her own friends and doing her own thing and making things happen. And she spent those years now leaning on me. She lost some of herself.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
And I didn't realize it until years later when it was over.
Yeah.
But me not putting her, allowing her, giving her the opportunity to be in that role was a bad thing. I should have, because I said to her, I was like,
She was submitting.
She was submitting. And I asked her, I said, listen, if you want to work, you want to go do your grind, do that. But I would love for you to be a homemaker. I'd love for you to stay home and do whatever you want, right? And listen,
Yeah, you can, but I
and
don't want you to.
and listen, she was a great homemaker, but she had to go into her backup style. She had to go into her adaptive style for years, and now she's got she got kid conversation, and she's just not doing her.
Right. She lost
As
herself.
soon as she left me, she went on
Back to
corporate
beach
America,
mode.
making $100,000, top executive in every company she's ever worked for since then.
She held it in.
Right?
Yeah.
She held it in.
She held it
and maybe
Could you have handled that? You could have handled
oh,
that.
absolutely.
Okay.
I could use an extra 9 holes on the golf course a week, right?
So why you just didn't allow her to do it?
Well, it wasn't. I didn't realize these things until later on.
You
I
didn't realize what she really, really wanted.
Yeah.
You thought that she wanted what you wanted
Well,
because you gave her a choice and she chose to.
she chose. Yeah. So I
Right.
thought what she wanted, and that's what she wanted. Listen, who
At the time.
what
At the
40-year-old woman who been grinding for years, got time, don't want a man in her life who gonna take care of her, and that's what I did. I came into her life and I took care of her. But in taking care of her, she lost herself.
She didn't realize that that's not what she
She
wanted.
lost herself, and she's still unaware that I'm aware of this. But now when I look back, I'm like, well, why didn't you do all them executive years with me?
Why you
Us.
feel like
we
you
can-
still can't tell her?
I don't have a reason to now. There's no need to. There's no need to express
It's
that.
like,
Say something.
Yeah,
Feel
there's no need to express that.
Say something.
Bygones be bygones.
Standard now.
I know.
Now we getting emotional, like, because I would have said, I'm saying one person.
Judy.
Why not still let that lady know, like, dang, I appreciate what you did for me in this role when we were married. And because sometimes it doesn't mean you were the wrong person that she shot off and prospered without you. It's just like, if you can recognize it, why can't you just shoot her a text message and say that?
Like,
What will it hurt?
it probably wouldn't hurt anything, but
Maybe it's something
but-
she needs to hear.
but it is perhaps, but it's not for her, right? This is for me.
Right.
So when I meet the next up, listen, I don't like.
That's a lesson you
Yeah,
learned
yeah.
and that you want to
Yeah,
use to
yeah.
go to the next
I don't like weak people. I don't like weak women for sure, right? I like a strong woman. My mother was strong. She said what she wanted to say. She was on fire. She accomplished a lot in her life. That's the kind of woman I like. And so to bring that kind of woman into my life and then put her in a space where she's not her greatest productivity is something I'll never do again. Right? It's
So you learn from it.
that I learned from it, right? And so I could, and if we were close enough, I would share that with her. I would want to build her up with that.
How
Like, look,
long did it take you to realize that?
It was probably 6-8 years after the relationship that it was over with.
How long have I been?
Because I kept asking myself, and literally, soon as she parted from me, she went and got a great job and started making money and was an executive and doing great. So, and I started asking myself, well, like, God damn, I've been grinding on my own business for 10 years. Where the hell she been? Where the hell's all this, all this? We could have made $1 million in our living room.
Because you said,
Be a homemaker.
No, I didn't.
Frank.
No, listen, y'all got to understand.
Yeah.
I gave her an opportunity. She could do what she wanted. You want to go to college, you want to start a business, you want to go work for them, do what you want to do.
Did you ever talk
But
to her
I
about
would,
the
I
business?
would be okay with you being a homemaker.
Did you ever talk to her about that? Like, hey, you know what? Like,
Several times.
she just didn't want to do it.
She's like, hey, you want to go? She was talking about a photography class. She went and took 3 or 4 photography classes and got bored with it. Right?
Yeah, well,
She ain't it's still work. She, raising her kids and trying to do a college degree, it's still work.
I worked 2 full-time jobs for the Birkin and got my master's and a 3.8
we
GPA.
we're very proud.
And in the midst of that, you realize that, hey, I got to make these ends meet. I ain't got no backup. I ain't got no man. Ain't no lounge court. Ain't no sideline. This is what I got to do. But if you are a homemaker, you might say, hey, well, I'm going to go extra hard this week for my husband rather than doing a college class or something. I go extra hard this week for the family.
I had something similar in my marriage, so I might as well say it too. Because again, with mom, she's a homemaker for a minute, but she always took low-end jobs. And I was the kind of person I always wanted to be a manager and I always wanted to achieve things. And she just was happy being on the lower end.
That's it.
So I talked to her and I convinced her to be a manager. So
Okay.
when she took that position, she started liking it. She never thought she would want to be one. So then she became a manager at another place. So next thing I know, she a manager, I'm a manager.
Mhm.
I made a beast.
Okay.
Now that I made this beast, it became a problem at home. It's competition.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm
Y'all
getting
work
I'm
the same
getting promoted. No.
Oh.
2 different fields all okay.
Okay.
But I'm a manager, she a manager.
Yeah.
So we both making a paper. We get home and it's like I get this bonus, I get this raise off my hard work. She get hers, and again hers is nowhere near mine. So she like, we need to do this because of this check, and I'm looking at her like, okay, I pay some bills, but I just got this one. Now this is gonna pay your car. Just let you know the difference.
Yeah.
This we ain't nowhere near.
Yeah.
But to her, I never be good enough. No, you was horrible before. I don't know what that little check was before. It wasn't doing nothing. Now you're doing something, so I'm proud of you. But
McDonald's shit.
yeah, what? It was Checkers, I think it was. Yeah, I'm snitching. It was Checkers. So
Damn.
you bringing me this little check. Now you bringing me this bigger check, but now we're working against each other.
Mm.
So now because I'm out there and I'm working even longer, it's like, okay, since you making so much more than me, she punished me by spending my money on the kids and everybody else. So my kids had clothes that made me want to call them and jack their ass. I mean, I'm looking at my kids. I mean, she bought clothes for me too.
Yeah, but that was
She
good.
bought, yeah, because she spent that money.
Right.
Because she was like, you making it, I'm making it too. So then I'm like, well, dang, this competition drew us to a point where we end up not making it. And there was a lot of other things, and I admit cheating was one of them. And again, I
That's the
own my.
did me.
So when we did make
Tell
it,
the truth, Crab. Tell the truth.
and it went that way, she went away and she became stronger. So she became a better manager, making more money. So
You.
she making more. No,
Oh, okay.
that damn much.
Jay, come on now.
But she's making way more money than she did then.
Mhm.
So I see her progress big time. And it's like I sit back like crap, and it's like if she'd have did that shit back then, we would have been a stronger unit. But we wanted to argue and fight. But now we're away from each other, and now we close. We still friends. But she over there, she got a boyfriend. I'm over here, and I'm handling mine.
But maybe her life path was just for a lesson for the both of you guys. Like maybe she was supposed to be where she was, so you can speak life into her, get her where she needed to be. Yeah. That was just your part in her life.
And we both good with that at this point. But
that.
we had to heal to realize that, because when we first broke up, it was like if I see her, it's gonna be some furniture moving. Okay, because I ain't like it. But it took me to hold myself accountable for all the actions I did. Not the fact that it was just breaking up and getting divorced. No, it was a lot of stuff that led up to that. And then with that accountability, you start seeing you're being a hypocrite. So stop being a hypocrite and realize it didn't work. Now let's heal. Now it took me some time. And then when we finally did talk, it became a talk that we could hear each other. And then that's the problem that we had before we got divorced. We wasn't hearing each other. We bickered over the smallest things, but we never cared to listen. It was always to listen to fight.
Right.
I listened for you could just say something that pissed me off. I can set back off at you.
Right.
And she did the same thing to me.
Right.
And these are the things why we have relationships that's failing so much, because we're not taking time to listen. Then we don't take time to heal. We don't even take time to digest. It's like my ex-wife was one, she would wake up with an argument and she'll follow my ass to work. You ain't leaving here. She was like that, okay? You go hear me. So luckily, I was able to keep grounded control. Yeah.
Cause that's how my grandma was.
When I tell you that was no joke, but it is something to deal with, and you cannot ignore it. All right. That's why I always say, my God.
That's what it's called.
Woo!
Passion.
That's that thug passion. Okay, that's that thug love. That's that thug passion. And you gotta measure up, because that
respect them.
it make you respect and also make it toxic. And we was the ones that no matter what went on, wasn't nothing coming in between. We was out somewhere and somebody be like,
oh yeah, y'all gonna go to war for one another.
Don't you talk to her like that. She'll be the first one to be like, who are you? And who are you? So she already know we might fight, but ain't nothing coming. Yeah.
Right.
We all that kind of unit. And that was one of the things that I really felt. Yeah, I did. But I also felt when Kraft was saying it, because no one really realized until you have ownership of what you did.
Mm.
And it's not always about helping them. It's about growing you. Because the next one shouldn't have to go through all that.
What do you think if she didn't prosper after the relationship?
If she didn't prosper, that would be hurtful, because she didn't take one of my kids and I had the other one. So we kind of split when we divorced. So that would be kind of hurtful, because I never wanted to see her back.
Right.
All right. The whole time I was with her, and I talked about it with the low end job, to getting it's always for an increase.
Right.
Because she always pushed me. My job was to push her.
See, people look at that sometimes as karma, like that's what he got.
Yeah.
My whole thing is I never want to look at a karma like that, because this is a person that I still love.
Right.
Now, with me not loving her like I did then, don't mean I still don't love her.
Right.
I mean, that was a person that I took a vow to be with the rest of my life. And then I forsaked it by a divorce. I'm not happy with all that. I'm not. But I don't feel good about somebody in misery because they ain't with me. I feel like at that point, I ain't no good man. I'm a man that just want to put hurt on somebody. That is not what God put me here for. I am to live a better life, but I probably wasn't living within his word. I wasn't living within his will. I was living within my own. And that's why I have to make change to make sure I don't bring that to another woman ever. Because again, I don't think I forsake her completely, but I did do something uneasily to be done. That's cheating. And cheating is hard on anyone.
On everybody.
But if you can't admit it, you won't change. And I have to admit it to do better in life and make sure I don't continue.
That's where my story just comes from, because people for years have been asking me, well, why didn't it work? What went wrong? Whose fault was it? And over the years of just analyzing those questions in myself, you always, as soon as you point there, you got three fingers pointing back. And I kept looking at those three fingers, and I'm like, what you do, Craig? Yeah, what did you do? And I started to grab or something, right? And even when I realized it, when I realized the mechanics of the relationship, this stuff I'm talking about now, it caused me to kind of experience unconditional love for her. It was like the moment of revelation said, she was always a go-getter, Stacey. You just never expected it. You never looked for it. You never tried to help her tap her potential. You know,
Right.
you just let her be a housewife.
You're pouring
And
to her.
yeah, and so again, what y'all were talking about earlier, those get up and do something, be a man, or be a go getter, a hustler. That sometimes people need that. Hey, get your ass up.
Yeah.
Hey, you said you was gonna do. Hey,
Right.
sometimes people need that. We need each other for that. If I say I'm gonna do something tomorrow, unfortunately, maybe it's a sad reality, but I need you to hold me accountable for that.
Accountable.
And when you do, that betters our relationship. That almost sometimes can mean that we are unified because you heard me and then you came back to me.
Right.
Oh,
That
wow.
means you listening to
That
me.
means you listening. That means you longing for the same thing I'm longing
Right.
for.
You care about what I care about.
Exactly.
So listen to that word,
It's a
unconditional.
Yeah.
Unconditional.
Yeah, that's
A lot of men feel like they don't feel it, they don't understand it. I'm gonna tell you
Yeah,
one thing
go on.
about that because it's one that people always argue that unconditional. And wait, I'm telling you now, but I'm gonna tell you the one thing I can tell you about unconditional that I really will tell you where I get it from is the love that Jesus had for us.
There you go.
That's unconditional
There you
love.
go.
The love that a mother will show you. Not all mothers, because all of them don't want to show it to you. But you have a mother that pour everything into you. That's where that unconditional love comes from. So when you start feeling it and you understand it from the Father above, then you're going to have to start transcending it. So when a woman don't show me unconditional, is always conditional, I'm going to have to show her more. How you
You
expect
have to do
not
more.
to pour into something if you don't want them to pour back? I don't want to go empty, but please understand, unconditional is something that's not always seen.
Yeah.
So you can't expect a woman to love you unconditionally and she don't even understand it because she ain't seen it. And we are to do it because of the Father.
Right.
If I believe in the Father and I go by faith, then I got to understand what He did for me.
Yeah.
He gave me unconditional. So how the hell am I going to condition what He did not do for me?
Yeah.
He gave me So you have to raise up.
Okay. Listen, I heard a pastor recently. I can't remember his name. You all will know him if I said it, but I can't remember his name. But he said, fellas, if you're looking for the perfect woman, you're never gonna find it. He said, because God is not gonna put a perfect woman in your life. God is gonna put a woman in your life that hasn't fulfilled herself, and your job is to help her fulfill herself.
Say it.
I mean,
Say it.
Talking about the leaders. Where the leaders at?
Right.
This is how you lead.
But that's profound
Okay.
because that means
but
that
that does make somebody perfect for you.
right, perfect for me.
Say it.
And it also makes me a little more flexible that I know that when I go in, not to have all these great expectations.
Yeah.
I need to look for the character, the raw character. She's a good person. She believes in righteousness. She's honest. She'll work hard. She's on my team. I need to be recognizing those things.
Yes.
And those are the things that
Matter the most.
That matter the most. So I think as we close out the show, what is required to kill any double standard is unity.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the unity that we should all be looking for is the spirit of love. Love and forgiveness, because you may love them, but they're going to do something that you don't like. And so now
Spirit of love, no did it.
No did
Yeah, spirit of love.
But
right?
love is the highest frequency you can.
Absolutely. And we should all be attempting to operate more and more love. I just saw something quite magnificent as we close out right here.
What's that?
Fellas, you'll know your lady loves you, right? If you look across the room and she just had this big grin on her face, you know what I'm saying?
Rubbing her chest.
Yeah, rubbing her chest. Y'all saw her grinning over there. I was looking at her.
Wait a minute.
Beautiful. Listen,
I do a quick pause on that one.
this has been Bar Talk with Jay.
Yes, sir.
My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay.
In the
We
building.
have Brittany and Alexis in the house. We want to
Yes,
thank you
yes.
ladies for being with us tonight.
Thank you for having us.
And we want to thank you folks for being with us as well. Just
Yes,
our
sir.
opportunity to be leaders in our own community. We're here every Thursday
Yes.
from 7 to 8 Facebook Live. And please come back, like, share, subscribe, bring your friends and family, and continue to enjoy some of this great wisdom that we bring. Tonight,
Mhm.
we share some wisdom.
Yeah, we did.
Absolutely.
We did.
Never forget that we do this because we love you, we appreciate you. And with that, we are out.
Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.